Hi guys, welcome back to episode 6 of the EPL Showdown, where we'll be reviewing fixtures, previewing fixtures, and probably fantasy football as well. Here we have two very special guests with us. We have Ganeeb, who's the owner of the page Arsenal Hindi on Instagram. We have Arya R. Gupta, who's from Spurs, Mumbai. And we have the normal Jeet Shah, who supports Chelsea, and Vinamra Sarogi, who supports United, and me, Jaden Fernandez, who support Man City. First off, right from the top, the highly anticipated North London derby. Ganeev, what were your thoughts on the game, bro? Going into the game, the result overall, how was the game?
So I think I was very optimistic for this derby. I just felt we could take Mourinho at home, which we haven't been able to do, and this was the perfect chance to do it, free flowing football. And yeah, so basically we just bottled it again. There's no other way to put it. We dominated the game. We dominated the game. We There were just Spurs had instances of just they weren't in the game at all. We were completely dominant, and I just think that our defense came to bite us back in the ass again. And yeah,
Yes.
so if our defense can't make like 5-yard passes, then it's not really the managers or any other fault. It's just stupid mistakes.
I can relate
That's
with you.
true.
Okay. No, come on, man. You signed a 90 million center back, bro. You can't say that. Can't say that, bro.
Price tag doesn't
No, dude,
price tag has nothing to
imagine.
do with it.
So all Yeah, imagine Kolasinac. All he had to do was play a simple 5-yard pass, which is not that tough. Like all you have to do is play a simple pass, and he got that wrong. And so, I mean, he could probably see Son standing right there. I mean, why would you not go back to the goalkeeper or play it in front? The
Yeah.
only strategy Spurs had was attack from the left, let Mora run at Mustafi and Bellerin because Bellerin was going to be ahead and Mustafi is Mustafi. So I mean, that is all they did, and we still lost. And I was to my friends on the groups, and everybody was like, don't be optimistic. We're probably gonna bottle this one again. Don't be. I was like, nahi, hum jeetenge. We were gonna get this.
No, but
But
you guys
yeah,
were honestly in good form. Like you were playing good
Yeah.
football. It felt like Arteta had finally solved your defensive issues by playing the three at the back, shifting Kolasinac to LCB, Tierney putting in good performances. So I wouldn't blame you for being optimistic, especially given Spurs' bad form recently. I mean, if I were an Arsenal fan, I would definitely be disappointed with that result.
Heck, if I
so
was an
I
Arsenal
am
fan, I would be
disappointed with the
disappointed
result.
with the result.
Yeah. So I am but I feel optimistic because I still feel optimistic because I see. So Spurs were the Champions League finalists last year. It's hard to
Yeah, yeah.
imagine from there from where they were and where they are now. We had 82% possession at the start of the half. I think there was this stat that showed up. So
Yeah.
that's a
Yeah,
bit.
yeah.
I mean, Spurs had no intention of playing the game. They did a typical Mourinho, and they won the result like a typical Mourinho. So
I mean, their goals were from a mistake and a corner. So yeah, no denying that.
exactly.
Yeah, I consider ourselves lucky to win that match and come out with 3 points because uh, forget the Son goal from the mistake. We made so many mistakes and Aubameyang couldn't convert. That's lucky. That's luck. Yeah, hitting the crossbar in the pole,
Yeah.
that was pure luck. And I think penalty spot से एक goal miss किया Aubameyang ने. He tried to
Yeah,
flick
he
it
missed a touch.
He
in the
He
missed a
missed a
couple
good
of
yeah,
touch.
he
shots.
missed a
Yeah.
touch. Yeah, he missed a touch. And I was like, oh my God, phew, dude. Seriously, because that was like, my heart was in the mouth. And
Can imagine. Yeah. I think,
lucky enough to score.
yeah,
Lucky
Loris
enough
pulled
to
off a
score.
few good saves also.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Loris was great. Loris was great. Our midfield was doing well. Winks and Lo Celso and Mora were pretty good. Kane has been, he's disappeared ever since the start. He scored one goal, I guess. since the
Yeah.
restart.
Yeah.
Son is there. Son's always there, and we got to do something about Serge Aurier. I won't speak much
You have to
on
sell
him
him.
right now
You have
because,
to sell him. There's no other way. There's no
yeah,
other way.
I won't comment on him right now because of what has happened with his family.
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
I'll pay my respect
Yeah.
over there and not say
Sad,
anything
sad to
about
hear
it.
that.
But then, bro,
That's
given the
Yeah.
fact that Oreo might miss the coming few games due to personal reasons, who do you think will play at right back for Spurs?
I think we will bring Tanganga back because he was a bulldozer, man. Because the way he saved
Yeah.
us against
Yeah.
Liverpool, that was unexpected. And then the matches consecutive to those, he
Yeah. I
held the
mean, yeah.
defense quite good
He
at
he had a
week
few good
19, right?
games and like his name started coming around
Yeah,
social media, but then after that
yeah.
he suddenly disappeared as well. Like we didn't see him again playing for Spurs in recent times.
Huh,
He's
because
been injured.
yeah, recently, yeah, he was injured. Now he's back,
Oh,
and
okay, okay,
against Arsenal, he was benched. And Mourinho was quite sure he won't start him or sub him on.
okay.
Sorry.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I think after a few games, maybe two, he'll be back in the
Yeah,
starting
I have
eleven,
a
maybe.
question for you, Arya.
Yeah,
Just
sure.
one. What do you think is Spurs' problem? Because you were in the Champions League final like
Yeah,
not even a year ago, and
yeah,
right now you're here. I mean, it was more than a year ago, but yeah,
yeah.
like what happened?
What the
What went
problem
wrong?
is,
You basically
what the
have the
problem
same
is.
squad.
Yeah. We
And
have
in
the
fact,
same squad.
they made really good signings. If I'm being honest, like they signed Bergwijn, they signed Lo Celso, they signed
And
Ndombele,
Dombele.
Ndombele.
Jetson Fernandez. Like I was really scared of Spurs before the start of the season because all these four like potential,
Yeah,
really
yeah,
good young players. So like you would have expected
yeah.
Spurs to build on their
Jetson,
previous
Jetson.
season. Yeah,
I don't
And
know
all
much
they
about
lost was
Jetson
Ericsson.
because
And
So
yeah,
listen,
yeah,
so how I see it is that you can make how many ever attacking signings, but unless you don't have a balanced transfer window, it amounts for nothing.
but
Because you
bro, they
see,
did
look at Chelsea.
sign. Yeah, but
you
they did
see,
Chelsea is
sign
Bergwijn.
signing
Ndombele.
only attackers. Chelsea has not been linked to any defender. So how I see it is that a club should
Chilwell.
rather diversify their signings than focusing only
Hmm,
on one
hmm.
position.
Bro, I think I
See,
disagree. I feel what's important is taking the right player for your club, which you can think will make an impact in the long term. Like if you look at the Liverpool model, they signed Salah and Mane because they knew they're gonna work for them, and they did wonders. But then they did not sign Van Dijk in the same window. Like their entire defense was done in a separate window where they signed Allison and Van Dijk, and their attack was done in a different window. So it's more about who's available in the market and who you think will work on the long term. Even if it takes a couple of windows, many
See,
times you have to go for an unbalanced one.
this debate is for another podcast. I mean, this transfer window will come probably after the end of the
Yeah,
season. But, going
yeah.
back to Arsenal Hindi's question, I mean, Arya, please answer to what
I think the problem there are two problems I would name. One is the mentality, all right, which is gone. There's no passion. You see the players, you see them play. The shoulders are dropping. You can't drop your shoulders mid-game, dude. You got to buck up and run towards the ball. Yeah, you can't just walk and just play blame games. That's not going to work. And second, the major problem I think because of all this, because of Trippier's departure, because of Ericsson's departure, the main reason behind
Yeah.
this is Daniel Levy, our chairman, our esteemed chairman. I think he's the major problem. Um, he sacked Pochettino because he was asking for a rebuild. Because Pochettino understood with this team, with this squad, he's not going to do wonders. He's not going to win trophies. All right. The most he can do is what he did. He reached the Champions League final. And he was like,
I
if
think
I
if
have to
you're,
start another
I'm so
season.
sorry.
Sorry.
So
Yeah.
can I interrupt? Yeah,
Yeah, sure.
so yeah, if you're reaching the Champions League final, that in
Yeah.
itself is big. So
Yeah.
you could say that you were at the pinnacle of your club, like the
Yeah.
highest point that your club has achieved in the last 30 years.
Yeah. Definitely. That was quite visible,
And
right?
that was due to Pochettino. That was due to the squad you had. You spent money. You built up on that squad. Okay. You
I
have your
don't
chairman to
think we
thank for
spent
that.
money on
You got a new stadium. You got a world class stadium. Okay? You even had signings. We
Yeah,
did not
really
have
good
signings
signings.
for 10 years.
Agree.
So I don't think
Yeah,
it's
we
the
had.
just the chairman.
I think it's just a chairman, to be honest,
Bro,
because
honestly, I
we
feel
got a
like
stadium.
Daniel
We got
Levy,
the
yeah,
stadium.
yeah.
We got the stadium. See, Daniel Levy is not. He is not interested in the game we play. He's interested in the money we make. Okay, and
That is
this
all
has been
owners
proven.
ever.
I
Every club,
disagree.
all owners ever.
I don't
I
think so. I
disagree,
don't think
bro.
so.
I
Look
disagree.
at Chelsea. Look at
We
Chelsea.
got a good owner.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, my owner
Look at
spends
Chelsea. Look
40
at
million on
City.
drink water, bro. He really
Look at
doesn't care.
City. Look at City.
So there are
It's like
two people with oil money here. So I don't really want to comment upon that. Probably get ganged up for.
Fam, Arsenal sponsors are Emirates, so that
Yeah,
amounts to oil money as well.
yeah, but our owners aren't Emirates, so
You'll still
Also, I
get
mean,
oil money though.
going,
getting
getting back to
everybody gets oil money.
the topic at hand, even I don't think it's. I mean, I agree. Mentality has been Spurs' problem because obviously, I mean, how can you expect them to have that winning mentality when they haven't won anything?
mm,
But
I
then,
mean, that is
especially like after
I'm
having the
letting us
season they had, yeah,
So, I
yeah.
mean, to instill that mentality, I'm not taking a dig at Spurs. I'm just saying to instill that mentality, I think Mourinho is one of the best coaches around if they want to instill a winning mentality because he is that kind of a coach who doesn't give a shit about how you play as long as at the end of the day, at the end of the 90th minute, you get a victory.
but bro, he's
So,
failed to
in
do
that,
that.
no,
Yeah,
I
we're
know,
failing to do that, right?
forget about the
Previous.
whatever he has
Yeah,
done.
sorry. Please continue. Please continue.
uh, he is that kind of a coach. I mean, I've experienced it at United. You don't play the best of football, but at the end of the day, you try to win to the best of your ability. You try to win football matches, irrespective of who's playing, irrespective of who's
Hmm.
benched or not. Secondly, I think the second problem, according to me, Spurs has. I mean, it might be contradicting what I'm saying now, but the players are just not suited to how Mourinho plays. I mean, and and if you
Totally.
want to get them
Totally.
suited to how he plays, you have to give him time. You have to be patient with him. You have to probably give
And
him a
I
year.
think we have no other option, right? We have to be
Yeah,
patient. We have to be
and you
patient
can't
till the
sack
next
him.
transfer window.
You can't sack him because Spurs has revealed a loss of around 200 million because of the debts of their stadium. And if you sack
That's a
him
probable
probably
loss,
a
bro.
year, you're gonna have 4 years of leave or something like that. Whatever, the same situation with Pochettino to pay him. So that sacking him is also not an option. So I think the
Obviously.
best way for now to Spurs to go is
Yeah,
to try
we
to
have to
adapt
wait and we have to trust him.
the
That's the
Mourinho way.
only option. And
Yeah,
Yeah,
but the Mourinho, see, we've got like what, six attack. We've basically got an attacking team. You
yeah,
can't expect us to play defensive football. You
yeah.
can't expect us to be in our half. And the goal of the season, the Son's goal of the season. Uh,
yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah, we
somebody
Against
can
just
hear
West
you.
spoke.
Ham.
Yeah, against West Ham, the Son goal of the season. I think that happened because of Mourinho himself, because he's so towards defensive football. Why would our striker be in our defensive third in our penalty box? Have you seen anyone? Any team? No,
Um,
right? So that's
I
how it is. He got the ball in the penalty box and then he ran for it. So all our
well,
strikers
to
were
be
in our
honest,
defensive half, all
Arya,
all
I
the
think
matches, all the time. Yeah.
yeah, no, but yeah, that's just because if you're defending, then you're defending, right? I mean, there are 11 men behind the ball. That's
Yeah,
how people defend these days. So it's I don't think so. Just one thing.
Hmm.
What I feel about Spurs is that you do not really. So the mentality thing is there, but what I really feel is you have what you lack really right now is the midfield. I don't think Tangai on Ndombele, even though he's pretty good, he's shown flashes of brilliance. You do not
Hmm.
really have a solid anchor in midfield. You played Harry Winks, who just kept tucking on t-shirts, who just kept fouling other people. He should have been red carded, but let's not talk about that. You
Hmm.
do not really have an anchor in midfield who can just rotate the ball well. You were not fluid.
Well,
You kept
yeah.
giving up
we're hoping.
possession.
No, but if you look
You
at
did
it, I
not
mean,
even try to hold the ball.
Winks is the closest to
Kane
what you're
wasn't.
describing. What I
Sorry.
feel. I think Winks is one of their most consistent midfielders
He's
they have.
consistent, no doubt, but I
But his
think,
Consistent at
physicality is
breaking
not
up the play
that's
okay,
true.
maybe.
for
But I think
other
that's the best
people.
they've got. I mean, given the fact
But
that
And
Ndombele is not being trusted.
what you've been trying to say, I think Mourinho is looking towards Giovanni Lo Celso to fill that void in the midfield.
Yeah, he's quite
And
trusted him.
yeah, he's trusting Lo Celso a lot. I hope he puts his trust in Ndombele because as I said before we started recording, I used to watch every football match there was, before I started following Spurs, and there was OL two, Lyon two, because they were in the Champions League, right? And I saw Ndombele's game with Lyon, and I just liked him too much, and I was thrilled when he came into Spurs, and now he's not being used, and it saddens me a bit because I've seen his game with under Pochettino and in Loin as well, and he's a really good player. Just a manager to support. He's a really good player, I feel.
But that's
To be
what you get
honest,
with
I just
Mourinho.
also,
think
Like,
that Mourinho has problems with French players. He has problems with Pogba.
Pogba,
He
yeah.
has problems with Ndombele. So I think I don't know what the problem is. I mean,
bro,
it's just
that's
down to attitude.
but then that's a bold claim to say he has a problem with French players because at Chelsea
yeah,
he did
Well,
get along
yeah.
with a lot of good friends. Like he loved Kurt Zuma. He called him the best, one of the best centre backs he's trained. I
Kante.
Kante. Did he play under
Conte was
he
Mourinho?
never
wasn't
under
Kante
there.
never played under Mourinho.
Oh
Kante
yeah,
didn't play
yeah.
under Mourinho. But then there
Acha,
was
getting
yeah.
back, getting back to Arsenal, Ganeev, what do you feel? I mean, I've watched Arsenal play. I mean, yeah, as you rightly said, that he's brought a system which is helping you all defensively. But do you think that the attacking side of the play is affected? I mean, Arsenal is winning games, but I think it's not the free-flowing attacking football which we are used to see Arsenal play. But now it's
So,
them rather focusing on defense and not
um,
attacking as much in game. So do you think that system suits Arsenal for now, given their defensive frailties, or would you like to switch back to a 4-3-3 or a 4-2-3-1 in the future with Arteta
what
as the manager?
what Mikel Arteta's first job when he came in was he was told he sort out this mess, sort out the defense first. And that's what he did. He basically gave shape, he gave structure to the formation. He told players, you have what you need to do. And I don't really feel, I feel the attacking is better than it was with Emery. I really love how Tierney and Bellerin get forward. They're always on the other side of the field, and that's what I have seen. That's what I've seen with Gael Clichy, with Bakary Sania, all the that's what I've seen with Ashley Cole. So I've grown up watching the fullbacks get forward and do a good job on the wings. But what I feel is the thing we lack in, and that the and a area which will be better next year is the centre back positions, obviously. So Kolasinac is operating as a left-footed centre back, but he's
Hmm.
not a left-footed
Yeah,
centre back. He's basically this muscular guy who is supposed to play on the left back position. So
yeah.
Pablo Mari's injury hampered us a lot. So I don't really agree with the point that Arsenal are not playing attacking football. I feel we're playing good football. I feel we're playing flowing football and we're creating much more chances than we were. Aubameyang has not scored an away goal since January. So that is a problem. I don't know what has
Wow.
happened, but yeah. So, but I feel he'll get back to him. I think he'll get back in the next match. Probably get a goal against Liverpool. That'd be good.
Do
I've
you
got a
think?
question for you.
Yeah. Okay, I'll
Can I
follow
can I
after
ask?
yours.
Can
Yeah, yeah. Go
Yeah,
on, go
yeah.
on.
Go
Go
on,
on,
go
go
on.
on.
what are your views on Nicola Pepe in
Hmm.
Arteta?
Good question.
Under Arteta, not Emery.
So,
Under Arteta.
yeah, since the restart, he's looked lethargic. To be honest, he's looked fatigued, and I haven't really seen flashes of brilliance on the right wing. So mainly all our attacking is from Aubameyang and Tierney's side, and Bellerin probably gets forward, but Pepe itself isn't really involved in the game. Now I would rather want to wait let him get a whole preseason in, let him get started with the next season, and then reserve my judgments for him. But he has shown that he can get by defenders, and he has a good left foot.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I'm just clunching onto that.
And just
Yeah.
adding to the right wing position, I mean, we've seen Bukayo Saka play there a few times. And according to me, I don't think it's his best position. So, I mean, as an Arsenal fan, you've been seeing him to grow, develop throughout the season. What do you think is his best position?
I'm so sorry, I didn't catch whose position are you talking about?
Bukayo
Saka.
Saka.
Saka. So Saka is a gem. Saka, I just love the guy because he can play in so many different positions, and I think that's his strength. Just being that versatile player, wherever you need him, you can get him, and every team needs a versatile player. So he can play on the left mid, he can play on the left wing, and so in my personal opinion, I love him on the left wing as a forward because he's got a good foot, he's got a good, he's got a good whip to his cross, and something that we have lacked over the years. I don't remember a good crosser at Arsenal in the last 10 years. So he's got a nice, he's got a nice whip to his cross, if you know what I mean, and just like Tierney, we can probably get the two together. So left wing is what I prefer to see him with Aubameyang in the center, not Lacazette.
Right. But Lacazette's goal was a banger though. Like it felt like a
Yeah,
sort of
it was
resurgence for
pretty good.
him.
Yeah, that was good. That was
But
I'm
unexpected
sure.
too. That was
Yeah, I
unexpected.
mean, I personally am not a big fan of Lacazette. I mean, he scores great goals. It's great, and he likes to hold up the ball. But I am not really a fan of him. I don't know why, but I don't
Even
really
I've
feel.
heard so many I'm not a Laka fan. I'm more a Forba guy. I mean, he's good though.
I mean,
And that goal
obviously
was
Oba over
pretty
Lacazette. Yeah.
pretty unexpected. I thought he'll pass it to Oba
Yeah,
and then he'll bottle it, but dude, what a goal!
And
yeah,
I
I
mean,
agree. Amazing move.
Yeah,
both Spurs and Arsenal are not clearly where they want to be. I mean, their season has been. I mean, to be fair, I mean, all our teams have been in very, very inconsistent this season. But like, since you all both are our guests, what do you feel is your team's best lineup at the moment under the respective managers? So I think start with Spurs first.
can you start with him because I got to think under
Okay,
Mourinho.
okay.
Yeah,
Arsenal, go Arsenal.
So, um, okay, so I'd go for Leno at the post. I'd go for Cedric Suarez at right back. I'd go
What is your
for
formation? Sorry, what is your formation?
yeah. So I'll go with the current formation. I'll go with a
Three,
three
four,
four
three.
three. Yeah, I'll go with the current
Okay.
formation. I'll go with the three centre backs. Are we considering everyone to be fit, or are we just going with the
Everyone to be fit.
everyone
Yeah,
fit.
yeah, everyone fit.
everyone to be fit? Then we have Pablo Mari as left centre back. We have David Luiz as centre back and Mustafi as right centre back. This is the best defense we have right now. On the left mid and the right wing back positions, basically, we have Tierney at left wing back, right wing back. I'd go for Cedric Suarez. The only reason I'm going for Cedric Suarez is because he's got better crossing and a better
Yeah.
sense of the game than Bellerin. I feel Bellerin has been not in not such
Yeah.
great form. And with the two midfielders we have, I go for Ceballos and Xhaka, where with Aubameyang, Nketiah, and Saka in front.
Aubameyang, Nketiah, and Saka. So no Pepe, no Laka.
No Pepe, no Laka. Not right now with the current form.
And
Yeah.
you want to play Saka on the right when you said that you prefer him to play on the left.
I prefer him on the left, but yeah. So there are circumstances in the team right now. Aubameyang can play on the left or in the center. So if Nketiah is
Hmm.
getting the center,
Yeah.
then and we don't really have two good wingers. So I don't really want to play Pepe because he's not in great form. So this is the formation I'd go with.
Also, let's talk about since you mentioned Nketiah, let's talk about his red card against Spurs, wasn't it? It's the same game, right?
No,
Do you think?
it was
No,
in
no,
the
no.
Oh, it was
previous
the game
It
game.
was
before.
previous game.
It was
Yeah,
against
Oh yeah,
Leicester.
yeah. So how reckless do you think that was on his part to come in and immediately leave the team one man down?
It wasn't
It was a
reckless.
typical forwards
yeah.
challenge. Like
3 minutes.
those young, hungry strikers who want to get the ball. And I don't blame him. I would rather want my striker to go for the balls like this. You never know when a chance might. He was at the last, he was at, I don't know who the centre back was, but he was at, like, there was nobody behind him. So he was the last centre back. If he would have touched the ball first, then he would have been in. So
Yeah,
I would never really want my attackers to stop. Just go attack the ball. If you get it, fine. This was probably a one-off.
yeah, fair enough. All right, let's move to Arya now. Spurs lineup.
I would go for 4-4-2 and
Okay.
with Lloris at the post, obviously. I'm not saying Gazaniga is not good. I love him, but Lloris is more experienced and a better shot stopper. So there. Right back or right wing back, I'll have Jafet Tanganga over there. And our Belgian wall in the centre back, Toby Alderweireld and Jan Vertonghen.
Yeah.
Left me, I am confused between Davis and Ryan Sessegnon. Yeah,
No, I
Ben
think
Davis
Davis,
and
he isn't that bad as
Davis
people
is
thought.
good, but he has his good days and he has his bad days. Most of bad days. So
Sessegnon
I'm
is
a bit
very
confused there.
inexperienced.
But then,
Yeah, but that
I
doesn't mean
feel,
we can't
yeah,
try him out.
yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. And our
Okay.
midfield four would be uh, right winger Lucas Moura. Then in the center, pairing of uh, Ndombele and Sissoko. And left would be Giovanni Lo Celso. And then Harry Kane and Heung-min Son.
Oh, so no place for Bergwijn?
No, Bergwijn because I think he is great when he comes off the bench and not when he starts because he's got fast feet and both Bergwijn and Lamela, they are great when
Mhm.
they come off bench and not when they
Off the
start
bench.
because they bring speed and they bring that passion, that
Yeah,
energy, ball of
Do
energy.
Energy.
you
Yeah.
do you
yeah.
think they want to be on the bench? Like, do you think they would like to
Obviously
be off the
not.
bench, Walla players?
Obviously not. Obviously not. I think everyone wants to start, but there has to be rotation.
But then, I mean, it's quite an interesting lineup that you mentioned with the 4-4-2 and Lo Celso playing bit towards the left. But don't you think this midfield lacks a lot of creativity in terms of that center pairing of Sissoko and Ndombele? I mean, Ndombele is known for his offensive game as well, but we haven't
Yeah,
seen that in
yeah.
the PL as of yet.
We haven't seen that. That's true, and I would be hoping, because he can be a great playmaker along with Giovanni Lo Celso from the left. Um, and then Davis makes the overlap run and crosses it to Harry Kane and he scores a
Right.
header.
Yeah.
That's my dream play right now from the left. Right,
You miss
just like
Ericsson.
yeah, we do. Not the 2018-19
Do you
Ericsson.
feel like you replaced Ericsson? Because I don't think Spurs ever
No,
replaced him.
no, no. We gave his number away to Bergwijn, but Bergwijn hasn't filled his void though. Someone can fill it though, not yet, not yet. I'm not saying he's a world class player and we'll miss him. He's not Bale, all right. Bale जैसा player, no one's there yet in Spurs right now.
Yeah,
Heung-min
you
Son
still haven't
is
replaced
a
Bale.
close second. Yeah, he's a close second to Bale, but I wouldn't say that anyone has replaced Bale.
Yeah.
But Ericsson is quite replaceable, so that's yeah.
Okay, so quickly wrapping up the North London part of our podcast. I mean, so like now you'll have told us your best 11s. So where do you all think? I mean, I think this is probably a repetitive one, but like now that we are more clear of your best lineups, where do you all think you all have to improve, or what signings would you all make to improve on that on the best 11 you just mentioned? And I mean, your signings can be limited to the position, or they can be an exact player who you have seen play from other teams who would fit perfectly into your team.
But keep
So
it
I think
realistic
again,
in terms of like the budget you
yeah,
think
keep it
you'll have
realistic.
this window.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I
Can I
think
can
yeah,
I can I start
yeah,
Yeah, go
or
sure.
on.
does he
Go ahead.
start?
Go
Anyone,
ahead.
anyone.
Sure.
Okay. So we've been linked with many center backs, defensive midfielders, and strikers, attacking midfielders. I would say that we should go for a right back. like just go deep for a right back because we really need one. I feel because Aurier is not doing the job at all, at all. He, matlab, David Luiz is better than Aurier at the moment. At the moment, no offense, no offense,
That's saying
but
Bold
something.
I
words,
feel so.
very
I
bold
feel so.
words.
Yeah, and
Oh
I'd go
no,
for a
just
right back.
who is the right back that you want to go for? Like I know you need a right
Yeah,
back, but who?
Atal, is it?
Yosef Atal.
Atal?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yusuf Atal.
yeah.
Yusuf Atal, yeah.
He's
He's
pretty good,
from
but
Nice.
I think he's recovering from a very terrible injury right now. From
Yeah,
what
yeah,
I've
yeah,
read,
yeah,
yes. Yeah.
yeah. Atal or Max Aarons, I think we should go for
Norwich, yeah.
him.
Yeah, yeah, not
Yeah,
bad.
They've already been
he's
relegated, so it comes cheap.
Yeah.
yeah, but
And
I
Definitely.
think
Norwich has
he's
a lot
good.
of good players.
And I think we
Only
one back if I could bring because Vertonghen's leaving. Mourinho is not signing a contract with him. So
Yeah.
Vertonghen's out of the club. I think we could replace him with Koulibaly, which is a very very high hope thing to say, but yeah, matlab, what's the harm with
No harm, but
200
Aiden
odd
asking a
obviously
dollars?
request.
Dreams.
Yeah, we can
I
dream.
think we're going for Skriniar from Inter.
Oh, he's
no.
shit.
Koulibaly is more realistic though. No, he's not shit. Skriniar is
Bro,
good.
Koulibaly is 29,
So
29 years old. He'll probably
Arya,
have what?
Still has four
yeah,
Maybe
seasons
you
more
to
didn't
years
go.
left.
mention the
He
midfielder, the
played
4
creative
seasons max.
midfielder you need.
The
centre back.
defensive midfielder,
It's a centre
the
back
defensive.
prime when you are in your late 20s.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah, but we are looking more for a long-term guy, like a like a more company guy, like who will stay long term. Like I mean, Laporte, I know he would stay, but we don't have a pairing with him, like a proper pairing with Laporte.
Hmm. Yeah.
Continue, yeah.
So
Why do you
defensive
think Laporte
midfielder.
would stay?
I mean, he shows passion towards the club. I mean, I feel he would stay.
Really?
Yeah,
I remember
I know he would.
Adebayor showing passion towards the club. So yeah,
I know Laporte would stay. I mean, he enjoy. He's even signed a contract. I think extension.
He has?
I mean, not recently, but he's due till
Achha.
2025, I guess.
Huh.
I saw.
Yeah. 24, 25. Yeah.
And like if he leaves
Yeah,
City, it has to be either for Madrid or Barcelona, right?
yeah.
There's no point leaving City for another Premier League club or even a
See, I
Italian
mean,
club. I'd say, yeah.
Barcelona isn't as attractive as it was two
Definitely it
years
is.
back.
No, yeah.
And I think Madrid is slowly, after having a 2 year meltdown, they're slowly getting back to the elite status which they were.
Hmm.
But anyways, yeah, continue, Arya. Yeah,
Okay.
Mhm.
Where was I? Defensive midfielder, right?
Defend, yeah, yeah.
yeah. Don't
Huh.
you
So
feel a left back needs to also come in the door?
no, I think Ryan Sessegnon is enough. I feel if
Fair
you
enough.
play him, well, Davis can start and then we can sub Sess so that he's got experience out there. I think Sessegnon is quite good.
Yeah,
He was the youngest player of the year, right? Under 19.
Championship.
So
yeah,
yeah. And
Well,
defensive midfielder, I think Hogberg from Southampton has been linked quite a few times.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know
yeah.
how he is. I have not seen his game that much.
he
He
ex
is
Bayern,
he is definitely an upgrade according to me.
ex Bayern.
Yeah, if you say
Yeah.
so.
All right,
And
Arsenal.
moving on
I
to yeah, yeah.
I would I would love if Dybala is again there in the picture because thank God we didn't buy him the last transfer window because it would have been an enormous waste of talent bringing Dybala in the start of the season because I don't want to see Dybala defend. You know, it's
But then
Don't you think
pretty
that
what?
will
hurtful
be the
seeing.
case for every player with Mourinho? I mean, this is the whole point of Mourinho, right? That every player has to defend.
Sorry, I get you.
So also,
But
I'm not sure you're
it
being
hurts,
realistic with the
when you
budget
see.
at all.
Yeah. I mean,
Of
See, I
course,
I
I'm
mean,
feel
not. Of course, I'm not.
this isn't the immediate transfer window. This is over a period of Mourinho's reign.
हाँ.
Which could be 6 months.
I'm not saying कि अभी जुलाई में ये लोग को खरीदो अभी क्या I'm not saying
Uh,
that. I'm saying I
yeah,
would love to see these player in these positions.
fair enough, fair enough.
yeah, yeah.
Realistically speaking, realistically speaking, Hoberg आएगा, I feel. बाकी कोई नहीं आएगा.
Fair enough, yeah.
बाकी
Because you
बाकी
spent on a stadium, yeah.
free agents
Yeah.
or loans maybe. That's it.
Yeah.
Do you have anybody coming from the youth academy who could probably fill a word? Like any notable
Yeah,
talents?
we've got Oliver Skip, who's a good holding midfielder. I wouldn't call him holding midfielder, but yeah, he's good in midfield. And
Is he Premier
Jaffred
League level though?
Tanganga, not yet, not yet. He's played a few matches under Mourinho. Arsenal may he was subbed in, but he's not yet. He
But
needs
Gavin, if you
experience.
see, like, Mourinho is not the best manager to actually develop your academy products, right? So I wouldn't really
Mhm.
bet on Spurs producing a few good talents like they did with Harry Kane or someone like Mourinho just passes on a lot of talent just because he doesn't get along with
So
players. So yeah,
yeah, just
We
a state like imagine Spurs are going through a transition phase, right? So this is
Mhm.
like very crucial times for them, and
yeah,
you have Mourinho at the helm. So
yeah,
that just makes everything worse. Like you do not have academy players coming in. You're playing shit football. You're not winning trophies in general. Okay, there are no fans in the stadium, so less revenue. You're already in debt. The corona pandemic has affected everybody. No economic gains at all. So, I mean, what is the positive side for Spurs? I mean,
yeah.
I fail to see a, a ray of hope. Like if they're eighth or ninth now, I don't know. You're probably
We're
not
seventh.
going to be in the top six next year, the way things are.
Yeah, I think the only ray of hope would be their current young signings coming out good in terms of Jetson
Yeah, yeah,
Fernandez,
Yeah.
yeah.
Sessegnon, and all that.
Mhm.
Because they did purchase good players, they just got the wrong manager to play them. So you just
Again,
can hope
Tanguy
that
on Dembele wants to leave.
yeah, was to go
No,
to
no,
Barcelona.
I think that's false, man. I think that's false. I think that's just rumor because
I mean, there are
Ndombele went
rumors, and there's
official.
always
But
something
then
to the rumors.
yeah, but then Arya, see if you're Daniel Levy and you get a 40 million offer for Ndombele right now, which almost recovers
Mhm.
almost of what you paid for him, and you get cash in such a financially distressed situation. I think Levy takes it. Especially that you've got options in midfield, you've got Lo Celso who's being preferred.
You've got a point, but I don't think that will happen, man. Matlab, Levy is quite money-minded. He wouldn't incur a loss.
But
Matlab,
then
loss
if
के ऊपर और loss.
40 million
But
wouldn't
as you
really be a
said, कि
loss,
40
like
million,
yeah,
हाँ,
yeah.
that's what 25 million का loss होगा. We bought him
Oh
on
wait,
65, right?
you bought him for 65.
Yeah, he's a record signing, man. 65 is a
Oh,
record signing.
oh shit. Maybe then it is a
Yeah,
loss, yeah.
yeah,
I,
I think so.
I feel, I mean, it's a bold claim for me, but I still think um, if Spurs want to win trophies, their ray of hope is Mourinho
That's
because
also
he
true,
has
man.
won
I was just gonna
wherever he
say
has
that.
gone.
I
He
don't think
has
No,
won
not
Spurs
because
wherever
of
really
he has
that.
need
gone.
to win
Not
trophies
because of
right now.
that.
They need to get through this phase of the because building a stadium is not easy. You know what a club goes through. I have personally seen what a club goes through, and if Arsene Wenger wasn't there, a person like Arsene Wenger wasn't there, who is constantly sort of shoring up the lack of money, we would have probably not even we would probably not even be a top
Remain
10 side
competitive,
right now.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you weren't, if you're being honest. You weren't a
I
top
mean,
10
we
side.
were top four for like a long period, so that isn't bad. Just playing Champions League football helped us get through the debt. So yeah, and that
Yeah,
is
I get what
not
you're saying.
possible for Spurs to achieve right now. I mean, it's not possible for us
Not
to
at the
achieve
moment.
as well.
I think next season top five will be pretty convenient if we make good signings. If we make good signings, I'm saying.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay. Moving on to Arsenal,
Hmm.
bro. What would your signings be?
So we already have William Saliba coming in as centre back, and he's been already been labelled as a generational centre back. So I don't know. I would really hope he lives up
A
to his
what
name,
centre back?
a generational centre back. Like
Generation.
uh,
Okay.
yeah, we Saliba could be good. We need another centre back though. We have been linked with Upamecano, but I don't know if we'll get him. We've also been linked with a couple of other centre backs. We've already signed Pablo Mari on a permanent transfer, so I think we could be sorted out on that aspect. But what I really want to see is Thomas Partey. You know, that guy,
Yeah,
he's like a bulkier version of Kante. Like
yeah,
he's a
agree.
proper B2B midfielder. He can break up play. He can dribble the ball. He also has a shot in him. So I just need that raw strength in midfield. I feel we lack that with Xhaka and Ceballos, and I don't think we've had raw strength since Alex Song left.
But then again, he won't come
So
cheap, considering it's Atletico. Like at
yeah,
least
he
50
won't
million you
come
have to
cheap,
pay
but
up.
we have been linked with him since a long, long time,
Yeah,
which makes it easy. He has not signed a new contract with Atletico Madrid, so I figured we could probably get him less than 50 million. Another rumor there is that Aubameyang might leave this summer, which I am ready to accept, even though he's very important to the club. So if
But he's
Aubameyang
31,
leaves,
man.
yeah, he's still important. He's still scoring 20 goals a season. That's all you need from a striker. Um,
Well, that's true.
yeah.
yeah.
That's true.
So I don't know who's gonna come in for Aubameyang, but I hope somebody could. We've been linked with random people, but there's no substance or there's no substantial rumors coming in. Yeah. So I think that's about sums it up. I don't know if Aubameyang will leave or Lacazette will leave or yeah. So I think the strike partnership is still in. I mean, there's a lot of doubt regarding it, but what we really need is a centre back, which we are getting, and probably a central midfielder, which we are getting again.
So over the weekend, Manchester United drew to Southampton at home. A last-ditch attempt by Southampton actually got them the point which they probably deserved at Old Trafford. Vinamra Sara Gabriel, what are your thoughts on this? How's the game?
I think this was our worst game since we played in lockdown. I think we didn't play as bad as we did yesterday against Spurs. I mean, both ways we got a draw, but I think the Spurs performance was a controlled performance. I mean, this was I don't know probably it was down to us playing the same
Do you
lineup for
think no penalty, no fun?
Yeah, I think that's
no
the point, bro. No penalty,
fifth
no win.
game. Fifth game in a row we play the same lineup. So I mean, it was fatigue. I think it was all down to fatigue. I mean, I couldn't see the same energy in the team what I saw in the previous games. And I mean, last night I was very, very disappointed. Like I thought the world is gonna end. But I have come to terms with the fact that it's just a game. I mean, probably it's a game which our squad probably needed to get humbled thoda and like focus on the next games because now the games moving forward are probably of paramount importance to our season. So all in all, I feel in the end, I think Southampton deserved a point. I think they played some excellent football. They never stopped running. And as we said in the post-match press conference, I think Oli said it in his presser that they are probably the most hardworking team in the Premier League. So I'm not surprised by the result, but I
Yeah, bro.
feel we could have done better.
And honestly, I feel like Southampton outplayed you in all departments yesterday, especially that second half. Like they were totally in control. I didn't see United. I saw that old United back, like the way you used to play under Oli earlier times, when literally 10 of your players were in your own half, and like Southampton had all the ball, and like it was just a matter of time before Southampton finally broke through. But then when that corner was taking place last minute, the game had almost gone towards United. Did you really feel you would concede given you've been good defensively recently?
Definitely, bro. I mean, if you would have asked me that moment, if is Southampton going to score, I would have told you yes. I would have told you yes. I would have written it on a piece of paper. I would have bet on it. But I mean, it's the story of our season. I mean, we've always let ourselves down because of set pieces, and it's not. It's this season our defensive lack where we have lacked in defense is not by teams opening us up. It's by our own mistakes. If you see, we in the earlier part of the season, we were losing 2-0 to Sheffield. Then we make this amazing comeback. And then in the last minute again we're let down by a stupid, silly error and McBurney scores. So we have let ourselves down a lot this season, but this is probably a learning curve, and this is probably a lesson which we need to learn if we want to get back to the old United that we were. So this all is adding to the strength mentally to all our players. And I feel that this lesson was a good lesson for us yesterday. And it's like it was better that it was yesterday and not probably against Chelsea or probably against the Crystal Palace when the games, which are in fact must win games for us now. Like we can't afford to lose even one or drop points even in one of the games. So I feel that our defense has let us down a lot this season, but not in terms of being cut out open, but in terms of making individual mistakes and not defending set pieces properly. So yeah, I mean that is what.
Yeah,
Can
fair
I
enough.
ask you
Like,
something,
you, yeah, yeah.
Vinamra?
Yeah, yeah, go on.
Do you feel that the whole team as of now is dependent on Bruno Fernandes at the moment? Or is it a contribution of the all the 11 players instead of just the one or two,
So
Bruno Fernandes and Pogba?
yeah, that's a valid question. So how I see it is that when we started the season, we had Jesse Lingard, we had Andres Pereira, and probably Juan Mata, who used to switch between attacking midfield and right mid. So
Hmm.
I expected Jesse to perform 1,000 times better than what he did, what he has up till now. Pereira had no objection, I had no opinion about because I had not really seen him play in the first team in United. And when he was on loan to Valencia or probably to Las Palmas, I think in La Liga, he was played more out on the wide. He was played on the left wing, and he had tremendous numbers from that wing. Not in terms of like direct contribution, but in terms of build-up play and all. Pereira was one of the talents in the La Liga. So I feel these players have let us down tremendously this season, and that is why Oli has adapted to, as Jeet used to point out, defense. He's tried to make us more defensively sound and try to play to our best capabilities, which is counter-attacking football because we have tremendous amounts of pace. I mean, we're I think one of the fastest team, one of the youngest team in the Premier League. So I don't see him playing defensive-minded as a negative thing because that's just him trying to play to the best of the abilities of the squad. But now, clearly, in the January transfer window, we have got a player which is linking both departments. He's linking midfield to the attack in Fernandes. So now you can
Hmm.
really see what Oli wants to play, how he wants to play. And one more important factor is that Pogba has had thousands of speculations. The picture is always on him, the limelight is always on him. But now finally he has got to a point where he is not constantly in the media. He is finally there is someone to share that with, and which is Bruno Fernandes. So that is why it is helping our team as a whole that we have got another superstar, probably a potential world class player in the future, and the right person, mentally the right person to play for our club. So I think it's a huge boost. And as we all know, I think probably in our team, one player probably makes a lot of difference. I mean, he makes
True.
other players play better. So I think since his
Vinamra, I have
arrival,
one question for you.
yeah, I just finished. So basically, yeah,
Yeah.
I think he has lifted the entire club, and definitely we have a lot of independence on him, which is why I feel that we have to improve our squad depth in the transfer window with probably the signing of either Van der Beek or Grealish in that role, so that we see out games much better than what we did yesterday. Yeah, Arsenal go on. Yeah.
Yeah. So, just regarding your defense and your goalkeeping, Maguire and De Gea, just what are your opinions of them? Because is Maguire worth the 80 million you spent on him? Because I haven't seen the 80 million
See,
centre back.
definitely not. I mean, 80 million is not. He is not worth more than 60 million, 50 million tops. The player has probably it's irrelevant how much he's cost to himself. I mean, he doesn't have to prove his transfer value as much as what he has to prove his ability. So how I see it is that he definitely should have done a lot better than what he
But
has. But at the same time, we have got a proper United player in the making for the future in terms of leadership skills, in terms of asserting dominance in games, and his passing ability is probably one of the best I have seen, and probably that's what he's been. Probably that's why Oli, what he wanted a centre back like Maguire who can play out from the back, who can complement or probably balance out the team. And now
what
moving,
I feel, uh, yeah, please go on.
yeah. So I mean, his only negative point from me is his one-on-one defending. Apart from that, I think his positioning is very good. His aerial play, I think everyone has his aerial ability is very, very good. And his passing is also not probably the best, but it's definitely something to improve on. But his one-on-one is dismal. I mean, because of the lack of his pace, he finds it very tough to go against fast players. So that is somewhere definitely where he can improve on. And
Yeah.
should I move on to De Gea?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I just have a comment regarding Maguire that
Yeah.
I think he's good in the air and he's strong, he's powerful, and I agree with the point that he has a good pass in him. But if you're going to keep making mistakes like the one he was like one yesterday where he was marking his own
Van der
player
Sar,
according
yeah.
to the pictures. So I mean that technically is just what is the difference between him and one of the Arsenal centre backs then? Like if you're constantly making these stupid mistakes and it's not happening like once in a while, it's happening regularly. Like I've seen Maguire make mistakes or De Gea make mistakes every 2 games. So you do not how does one correct that? How does one go justifying that?
That's a good
So
question, man.
the difference between probably both the centre backs is um, yeah. I mean, I agree that he has made a lot of mistakes, and probably right now you won't see a lot of difference in both our centre backs, probably in Luis or Maguire. But I feel that Maguire is very important, is 1,000 times more important to United than what Luis is to um, Arsenal. And firstly, because he is our captain, and he has bought in. Probably this is something which is not related to the football field, but I mean, at the end of the day, it transpires or it connects football. I mean, he has done a lot of off the field movement for United in terms of making social events stricter. If players miss it, they are fined. He's probably demanding of his players. He is vocal on the pitch, and his aerial ability, I think, is thousand times better than Luis. And he is less prone to making mistakes than what Arsenal defenders have had. And I think Arsenal has a history of making. Arsenal in the past 10 years haven't had a proper centre back apart from probably Koscielny. And I think Koscielny also wasn't that committed to the club. I mean, you saw how he left that that short incident of his. I was dismal. So I don't. So I think all in all, what I'm trying to say is the character of Maguire is someone what we need in United to probably get us back to what he wants. So this is the difference I feel is what. And as far as the mistakes are there, I'm 100%. I agree. 100% agree with you on that note that he has made a lot of mistakes. But at the same time, I think it is going to take time. Probably this is his first season, first full season for United, and he has a lot of pressure on him. So I only expect him to get better from now on, and I hope that in the future he probably comes. Probably people can finally see what he brings to United.
Do you think you need another centre back to pair with him, or do you think Lindelof is fine?
So Lindelof has been putting in very, very good performances recently, and he is not that inconsistent as people turn him out to be. I mean, yesterday, yeah, he could have done better in the corner, and yeah, yesterday I don't think it was Maguire's fault as much as it was firstly the four people missing the header on Bednarek and Lindelof not getting goal side. So I don't think it was more. I think yeah, probably. I mean, it's debatable if Maguire could have done better, but it was more down to Lindelof not being positioned correctly and we missing the first header on the near post.
But he
Now
definitely
moving
should be
on,
marking his own man, bro.
but bro,
Like,
I mean, he couldn't. It just completely missed. It went above his head. I mean, he could have done nothing about it. This is what I feel. Couldn't have done anything more. It was more down to Lindelof either playing him offside or probably covering the goal side. So he was just nowhere. He was in no man's land, Lindelof. And we missed. I mean, four of our players missed the first post header. So I mean, I think that is what should be the focus rather than a Maguire. And now moving on, yeah, I mean, if we want Maguire to be our a defender for the next 5 to 6 years, we need someone who will complement him, who will cover up his defensive lackluster in the team. So we need a fast centre back who has good recovery. So probably um, an Upamecano or basically whoever has pace
take Rudiger.
will complement him. No,
Rudiger's
no,
got
no.
pace.
Rudiger.
Take him, please.
No, no,
No,
no.
I think uh,
So moving on to De Gea, I think rightly so. He has not had the past 2 seasons according to his liking, but I think we owe it to him to back him in these tough times because he has been our savior. He has been our best player for 4 years running. So I feel that we should back him when the chips are down. And I mean, he is a top keeper. There's no doubt about it, but he has to probably get past that mistake prone phase of his and get back to where he was probably. I mean, yesterday you saw he made a terrific save. So there are some signs of him, his old self, but I mean, the mistake side of it is overtaking his probably saving side where he saved us in a lot of games.
So, moving on to the most funniest result and most unexpected result of them all. Sheffield United beat Chelsea 3-0 at Bramall Lane. Jeet Shah, bro. What are your thoughts on this game? I mean, were you
Bro,
expecting
I'm
a
not even
3-0?
surprised.
I
3-0?
we
Were you
mean,
scored one,
expecting that?
man. Where were y'all?
there's no
Grandfather's
getting away
duty.
from it. It's a proper shit show. Not a single performance I can take out and say, okay, that guy was there, wanted to win the match. No character, no grit. People were there, but they weren't really there. The players, I honestly, I'm so embarrassed of the centre back options that we've got. I mean, I can go to the level of saying Christensen and Rudiger both are dog shit. Straight up. Like, if you are a bloody centre back playing for a top club in the world, you cannot do the mistakes that you do on a daily basis. Like, Christensen is just not aware of what's happening on the football pitch. He's literally, there's a cross coming. It's a standard Sheffield United play where you know that they're going to be physical, they're going to put in crosses, and the majority of the threat is via their headers. So when the ball goes down to the right, you just know that there's a cross coming in. So when you're a centre back, the first thing you do is you look for the man around. Where's the Sheffield player in my box? I need to go and mark him. But he does nothing of that. Christensen just stays there, ball watching, and just tries to jump on his place, thinking he'll get a touch on the ball, and that doesn't happen. That's the story of Chelsea, literally every game. So I'm absolutely pissed at the centre backs. But had you asked me the same review of the match on the day it happened, I would have been way, way more angry. But I think Leicester and United results have helped us. We're still at third place. Like, that's a big boon. But I mean, I knew Sheffield United was going to be a very tough game because they are known to be very organized. And Chelsea are known to not be organized this season in terms of defensive. And with Kepa in goal, like, you really are going to concede every game. So I knew we were going to concede, but it was more about we being still able to find the net and outscore them. But that didn't happen. Willian was tired. Pulisic was tired after playing again and again every 2 days. So I mean, I don't really blame the offensive side of our game because we have been reliant on Willian and Pulisic post the restart way too much. We need other people to come with goals. Tammy Abraham again started the season really well, carried us, won so many points in games, but since January he's just looked
Jeet,
horrible to me. Yeah.
who do you think is a superior striker, Martial or Tammy?
I mean, right now it's obviously Martial. I mean, no doubt about it, because this is if you need to realize that this is Tammy's first season in the Premier League. Martial's been here for like what? How long? 3, 4 years now at
5 years.
four,
least.
5 years.
4 years, 5 years.
4 years. But
5 years.
if you tell me that had Martial come into this Chelsea team right now, a very young Martial, and had responsibility been put on his shoulders to carry this team, I don't think he would have been able to do a job as Tammy Abraham did for the first part of the season. Right now, Martial is definitely the better player, but we need to realize that this is Tammy Abraham's first season at a big club. He's taken that number 9 on. He's won us a lot of points. I feel,
But bro,
I feel,
if
yeah.
you look at his overall gameplay, I mean, then nothing excites me. I mean, I don't think he can pass. No, he has no good movement. The only thing he can do is probably
Mm,
be a he only probably head.
Target man.
He has good heading, yeah, target man, and probably just be a poacher in the box. So apart from that, I don't see any qualities. He has
I
no
mean,
pace. I mean, for a striker, he has no pace.
he's not exactly that slow. He's got decent
I mean,
pace.
yeah, but he doesn't have that
But
awareness
then
which a
see,
striker should have.
thing is,
The
I don't
And his
believe in
link
the
up play
fact that
is
yeah,
link up play is not up to the
yeah,
mark.
it's not up to the mark. Definitely agree. See, the what I feel is you do not have to have a player with all the qualities. You just need to have a player that knows his qualities and plays to his strengths. Like, and Tammy did that in the start of the season. He came clutch for us. He kept scoring goals. Now, at the end of the day, if he scores goals for you, you wouldn't care if he doesn't link up really well with your wingers. If he does his job, I mean, if you look at
But
Oliver
now,
Giroud, yeah, he doesn't have the best of his pace, but he knows what he's got. He's got terrific hold up play. He can really make the players around him really active. So Giroud does his job. So like what Tammy needs to do is learn his strengths. He's definitely not the most useless footballer as well. He's got good technical ability. He can take shots. He's got a really good height at 6'4". So he's ought to be that poacher man inside the box wherein you put a ball in, it flashes through, it touches Tammy Abraham, goes in. That's something he really needs to develop in his game, and I think a lot of it is to do with confidence, and that has literally gone away since January. No hiding away from that. I don't know what got
what I
into him.
really like
Yeah,
about Tammy is that he came into a Chelsea team that was not supposed to do well. You
exactly.
were the
Yeah.
underdogs. You
I
had
swear,
all
man.
your
I swear.
loan players, your academy players, everybody. You had a totally young team, and you gave Tammy the number 9, and you told him, "Bro, go score goals." And you are in a position now because of his goals. I can't hear you.
Yeah, Jeet, you're not.
Oh, sorry, bro. I couldn't hear you after you started.
Yeah, so I'm just saying that you had a very young team. You had your loan players coming back and your youth team basically, and you gave Tammy the number 9 and told him that you have this job, you are the main striker, go score goals, and he did his job.
He
You
did
were
his.
in a position, Chelsea's in a good position right now because Tammy did his job, and if he's not scoring that many goals right now is because of a lack of confidence. But what I feel is he gives a lot of. I feel the best strikers don't really have outstanding abilities. Like
Exactly, yeah.
Lewandowski is not that fast, but he's a very good finisher. Like he's a poacher in the box. I feel the best strikers are, those the ones that have that finishing instinct.
Mentality. Yeah.
So the mentality. So that's all there is to it. You look at Diego Costa. Diego Costa is a bully, he's a beast, and he does it so well. So I don't think you need like extreme pace or extreme link up play to be a good striker. You just need to have that instinct for goal.
That's what I'm saying. And like end of the day, if you look at Harry Kane as well, he's not the fastest. But he bags you 20 a season, and that's all you need end of the day. And like,
Vardy,
yeah, you look at Jamie Vardy, bro. Very similar. So like
crazy
I
style.
Vardy is still
yeah,
faster. Vardy is still faster compared to
I
others.
mean, he is fast, but he's not the fastest striker, right? He's not
Not the fastest,
Rashford,
obviously,
Martial.
but he's not slow. Harry Kane's slow. Lacazette, I might call him slow, but Vardy is still, he's got pace. He's got enough pace. Enough.
I'm not saying I'm not saying that or a strike. Tammy should be 99 speed or acceleration. I'm just saying that, as Jeet rightly said, I think he doesn't know his best ability, doesn't know his best quality or what he brings to the team.
I think he did, but he's forgotten. Like his confidence has gone away. Like back when he was playing
Yeah.
really good for us, he really knew who he was. Like even at Aston Villa last year, he was, I think, the top scorer in the championship, if I'm not wrong, last season. He scored
But
like
he was
20,
out on
25
loan or
for
what?
Aston Villa. So like he definitely knows what his strengths are. But right now, I think something's got into his mind. Maybe is it the signing of Timo Werner, or I don't know what it is exactly. Is it his contract situation? But we definitely not seeing the best version of him. And if you tell me that Tammy can perform to his best standards, I would keep him at the club eyes closed. Because if you're telling me that academy guy comes into the first team in his first season at a top club and bags you 14, 15 goals, I'd say that's not an easy feat at all. Especially if you're keeping Giroud and Batshuayi on the bench right from the start, who are far more experienced, then you must have something, don't you?
So, Jeet, I don't agree with when you said that Martial wouldn't have brought something better than Tammy. I mean, probably not exceeding what Tammy has done, but he would definitely been up there. Because I mean, when he came in for United the first season, he had no midfield to supply him. There was no. It was a very poor midfield of United. There was just defensively there were players, and he still managed to get like 20, 19 goals and something 8 assists or something like that. So I feel that
But then he did come.
Martial has
He did not come from the championship or a tier down. Like
he came from League One, yeah.
he didn't know the expectations of a top club, and he came with a transfer fee. So like you knew what player you were getting when you got Martial, but Tammy Abraham like had I mean it's
So
sorry, but
I'm
if
not discrediting
he had not
what
been banned,
Tammy has done.
probably you would not have
I'm
heard his name. So like Tammy's come out of the blue. Like you get me? Like he's not been at a top club. He would have never imagined himself starting for Chelsea 2019-20, but he still comes in, he takes up his job and he delivered. Like he outscored Rashford's best goal tally in October or November. Like and that wasn't just a purple patch. We saw him continue his form until December, late December. It's just
what
the
is
last few months he's not been the best, but I feel he's done a huge job for us. Like had we not had
what is
and Mount coming in clutch, we
I
would
think it's everyone. I think
what
it's
is
every player, man, because of the
what is
COVID and the
yeah.
the COVID break. I think everyone has lost their touch, or maybe it's slowly coming back. So you
Ask
can't
Christian
completely blame
Pulisic.
it on Tammy.
Wait, what did you say?
I
Ask
said,
Christian Pulisic.
Yeah, Pulisic
so
has
what
been
is Tammy's age?
Tammy's age.
19, innit?
he's 19 now. He's 19 or
19.
20.
No, no, I think
Pretty young.
21.
Just a little factoid though. So I think Rashford and Martial had not scored more than 9 or 10 goals until this season, and Tammy already has 14 in the Premier League, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah,
So I mean, there's no point in comparing him to anybody, or just judging him right now, because he's still pretty young. He's a teenager, so you just gotta wait for him. I'm pretty sure he's gonna blow up pretty soon, and he's
By
one
the
with.
Yeah.
way, just putting it out there, Tammy is 22. He's not
right.
19.
Okay.
Really?
That's right.
So
Wow.
him outscoring Rashford right now is not. I mean, at 22 years of age, you expect him to beat a 19 or 18-year-old guy's
But no,
best
bro,
season in the
Rashford's been in
Premier
the
League.
Premier League for 4 years now. This is Tammy's first
Yeah.
season, almost
So
4 years.
he was. I think he was 18 when he came. Hold on. He was 18 when he came. So I mean, you can't expect 10 to 12 goals consistently from a teenager. I mean, but I mean, this is irrelevant to our what we're saying. This can
Yeah, yeah,
be
yeah. Yeah, so
tangential.
let's coming back to Sheffield in terms of Chelsea. I'd say that was a proper disaster class. Defensive shambles, centre backs off it, most offensive players tired, and I would go on to say the Lampard. I feel did get his tactics and starting 11 wrong. I would have loved him to match up the three at the back formation. The one he played against Spurs and did a brilliant job. The one he played against Wolves and we won 5-2, because that would have allowed a few of our French players to come in, like Alonso coming back into the squad, providing some energy, and that also matches up Sheffield, and you automatically cut their formation advantage. So I feel Lampard could have
He
done better. But end of the day, if I am a player wearing a Chelsea kit on that ground, I cannot expect myself to deliver such symbolic performances, and I've been utterly depressed by that. We had a really good chance because we got tough fixtures coming ahead. We got Wolves, we got Liverpool. So Sheffield was a game I'd expect to at least take a point away from. It was embarrassing in the end. Yeah, no hiding away.
Bro, he tried to change, like he had like made like 4 5 formation changes in the game. Nothing worked. So what was it down to? I think, do you think it was down to the players just being bullshit on that day, or just not him, he not being able to get the best
I
of
think
Chris Wilder on that day?
I think it's more on the players. Like Wilder obviously outclassed us tactically, but I'm of the opinion that irrespective of what tactics are on place, you gotta maintain some level of self performance on that field, irrespective of what formation, what position you're playing in. Like Tammy Abraham couldn't complete a single pass. Pulisic was off it, and understandably so, because we've been over reliant on him post the restart, him and Willian. So I would excuse Pulisic and Willian, but apart from that, no one else turned up. Giroud should have really started the game because he was in fine touch, but he was on the bench and he didn't have enough time to come and make an impact. And obviously, we've got N'Golo Conte injured, who was a who is our first option at CDM post restart. We've got Billy Gilmore injured surprisingly after the what game was that? After the Crystal Palace game. And then Jorginho comes in and this is the first time he's playing after restart. So like we definitely went into that game in a weaker position in terms of personal injuries, at the same time being fatigued. So I wasn't really optimistic about the game, but then I expected a fight because end of the day you're fighting for top four. And this is what the schedule is. You cannot make excuses. You cannot say, hey, I wasn't able to perform because games are every 2 days. End of the this is what it is. You gotta go there and perform. And I was disappointed by the players big time.
Do you think this result was coming? I mean, I saw Chelsea play at Crystal Palace, and I think one or two of their goals were gifted to them. And their defense, they were like, I think Crystal Palace looked like scoring every time they attacked. So do you think this result was coming, or you expected Chelsea to just win the game
No, I think it
at
was
the
coming.
back of them?
It was coming because against West Ham, against Crystal Palace, we've had a horror show defensively. And Antonio Rudiger and Christensen have been the center of it in and out. Kurt Zuma came in, gave us two solid performances, and that felt like a ray of hope. But then again, this game he dropped out a bit, and I think we are really missing Fikayo Tomori now because I genuinely have no hope from Rudiger or Christensen. Sorry to say, I wouldn't play them until the end of season. None of them. I would go on to
With
play Zuma and Tomori center back.
I think you need a better left back.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was just coming to that because with Werner and Ziyech in your team right now, do you look forward to make any more transfer changes, maybe?
yeah. I mean, Chelsea are like very interested in this market. I feel we could make up to 5 or 6 signings, to be honest, and we have the money.
Okay,
We are
that's a
probably
big
the richest
number.
club in this situation because we've been helped by the transfer ban, Eden Hazard money coming in, Alvaro Morata money coming in, a lot of money is coming in, and we are really good at selling academy players for good prices. So I expect
Yeah.
a proper reshuffle of the squad. Lampard just hinted yesterday that what's more important than getting in players is also being able to move out players, and that was a big hit
Hmm.
towards what Lampard wants to do with the squad. He wants a lot of players out of the club, and I think that is fair enough because a lot of them haven't been performing to earn their paycheck. So I can see players like Jorginho being moved on because Jorginho, as much as I love his technical ability, he's not really suited to the Prem, if you're being honest. So I see
Okay.
players such as Declan Rice or maybe Kai Havertz still coming into this Chelsea side and giving us a solid boost for next season.
You've
Just
been strongly linked with Kai Havertz lately.
Yeah,
Do you think him coming would really change uh, the way the way you play right now in the
I
midfield? Do you
think
think he's the key to it? Because all the pundits or all the reports are saying that Kai Havertz will come in and he will be the transitional key to Chelsea. Is that what you think as well?
what I feel is Kai Havertz himself is an exceptional player. He's very young and he's had 3 seasons in the Bundesliga. and he's been framed as one of the best young talents coming out of there. So I'm really excited that we are linked with him, and I do feel he'll be a very good fit in the squad because if you see the midfield that Chelsea's been playing for the last couple of years, it is not something that boasts of creativity. Last year we used to play Jorginho, Kante, Kovacic, all three of them who are more defensive minded than offensive minded. Then this year we got Mount coming in and chipping in with a few important goals and assists. But end of the day, we aren't really producing as much as we would like from the midfield area in terms of opening up plays, putting on those killer passes in, getting assists, like what Bruno Fernandes is doing for Manchester United. Like we are used to having a Frank Lampard in midfield who gets you 25 goals and assists, and we've had no one who's been able to replace him. So I think Kai Havertz is a step in the right direction. He's that perfect midfielder who's blessed with technical ability, and obviously when he comes in, you can just see that he'll connect well with Werner because of their common nationality. They've played in the same league, so you can see some sort of chemistry building in the squad. And then you've got talents like Hakim
Hmm.
Ziyech, Christian Pulisic. So like if you were to face Chelsea next season, and if I tell you there's Werner, Ziyech, Pulisic, and Havertz on the same team, I think any defender gets scared, and I think that's what you
Yeah,
want.
man. No doubt. No doubt.
I have a feeling about Timo Werner. I don't know, but do you think he's going to be another Morata?
No, 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 no. See, he's
It's a
not.
trade at Chelsea, though.
It
It's a
is.
trade
It,
at Chelsea.
it has been a curse recently, but I think this is it. Timo Werner is the guy because he's not Morata in the sense that he hasn't been second fiddle to anyone for the past 3 years. Morata was always second choice to Benzema at Real Madrid. Before that, he was at Juventus. He was moved on from Juventus, and which is why I never found paying 60 million for him any justified because he was in fact second choice at Real Madrid. Whereas Timo Werner, on the other hand, has been Leipzig's best player, and like when you see him play, you can see that he's got real quality. He's got raw pace,
Yeah.
which is a
Yeah.
plus in the Premier League. Like pace is always get rewarded in the Premier League. He's got a good finish on him. Okay, you can see that he's not used to playing as a sole striker, and that's one of the only doubts I feel you can have with him because he just promises you goals. Like last 3 seasons, I think he's hit 25 plus every season. So if you're getting a man like that who's young, who plays for the German national team, I don't think there's a lot that can go wrong in that.
German
See, I mean,
strikers are famous for goals.
Sorry?
German strikers are generally just
Yeah,
way too
exactly.
good. I mean, you
Exactly.
look at
And I felt like we missed a bit of German touch in our team right now because I don't know, like with German players, you get that sort of killer mentality. That's something that I've seen with them. That they are like they don't really get scared of challenges. Like they like
exactly.
as bad as Rudiger is, he still likes speaking up, owning up to his mistakes, and like trying to make him come back. And I think that's a huge
Mustafi.
trait amongst German players. Sorry, Mustafi, oh Mustafi.
That's also like that's Mustafi there for you. You'll never see him afraid of a challenge. He'll always own up to his mistake. I
Yeah,
like that. That's the German mentality, basically.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I'm looking forward to it badly.
and I mean, you
All
can't
right.
really expect a lot from new signings coming in and performing the first season. I mean, it's very rare that you see a player come in and perform.
I think it
I
also
think
depends the kind of player you buy. Like I think with players like Timo Werner, Hakim Ziyech, they're just proven quality. Like you could see that Bruno Fernandes came in, he didn't take a second to settle in. Not a single second. He hit the ground running from the first game. So if you got that mentality in you, if you're not scared of challenges, I don't think they will require a lot of time to settle in. Because we
no, I'm
managed
just
by
saying that you shouldn't keep a lot of expectation from them from the go because we have seen in the past. I mean, big players have come and failed. So I think putting a lot of expectation on your side is going to lead to disappointment. And at the same time, if the lower your expectations are, the bigger the output will be in your mind, psychologically speaking.
but then that's what
But I don't think that's quite possible because with the big names coming in, the expectations are high, and it's not something
I mean, definitely
one
they're high.
individual can control.
Definitely they're high. But I mean, that's what I'm saying. I mean, given on past results, we have evidence that the biggest names will come to the Premier League, but ultimately they require time to settle in. to adjust to the
See, big
probably the
names or
style of
small
Premier League.
names, big names or small names, or even someone who's, changing clubs in the Premier League itself, everyone needs time to settle in.
That's what I'm
And
saying. Yeah.
yeah, but I think Chelsea's attacking players will be, we got to be scared, man. We got to be scared. And I speak on behalf of Spurs. Matlab, our defense is as, it's like prostitute's leg, wide open, and Chelsea coming in with that front five. Oh my God, I can't imagine, dude, honestly.
Yeah, and whenever I feel like when you cherry picking right from the top, like the elite bunch, you cannot drop off your expectations, and at the same time they repay your expectations. Like I'm not saying we are buying a player who's unproven, who's got a point to prove. We are buying almost players very near to the world class bracket. So like players like these, they come and deliver. It's a given. Like you saw it with Haaland. He took the step up to Dortmund. It did not take him a second to hit the ground running. Same with Bruno
I
Fernandes.
think you're misunderstanding what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that given how Premier League is known as the toughest league probably in Europe, and there are a different set of skills apart from quality which you require to play in the Premier League. I mean, if you look at, you need physicality, you need mentality, you need physicality, mentality, ability. Obviously, you need ability. You need in any league, but I think Premier League, these two qualities are of paramount importance, or are as much as important as being ability wise very good.
Yeah,
And if
yeah,
you, I mean, the example of this are the lower team tables. I mean, they're not the best of the players, but their mentality and their physicality enables them to play as well as they do. So that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, that you shouldn't expect a lot. If you shouldn't be disappointed if they don't perform in the first season
but then
from the go.
like
I
uh,
uh
applying
I,
this.
I have a question for
Yeah, yeah,
Jaden, if you all don't mind.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, go on, go on.
uh, Chelsea is making these huge signings because I think because of their transfer ban right now.
Hmm. Yeah.
You had a 2-year transfer ban, right?
1 year, one two window ban,
One,
two
two window
window ban.
ban.
So
Okay.
summer and Jan.
Right. So you making these huge, enormous signings, which would have been the case with City as well. But if FFPP rules can be manned, I think by oil money. What's the scenario there, Jayden? You know,
I mean, from City's point of view, we have nothing to lose right now. We are in the FA Cup, Champions League. We are looking in a good position right now. So, with regards, I mean, your point is towards our squad. I mean, do we need actual signings right now? To be
yeah.
honest, I feel we just need a defender probably, and I guess we need to get someone from the academy. If I'm just a defender and someone from the academy, like a striker, like Jaden Braff, who's like a winger right now. So, like,
Okay.
just to give Gabriel Jesus a competition, because soon Aguero would be leaving, and so that's why I feel like Gabriel Jesus needs some competition, because he's kind of like not consistent at the top.
But what about replacing Leroy Sané? Do you think a academy player can replace Leroy Sané?
Yeah, I feel Leroy Sané. We are going in for some guy. I'm not sure. It's from Inter. I don't know who the guy is. It's speculations going all around, to be honest. But personally, I would
It's
actually
it's
like someone.
it's Leon Bailey from Leverkusen.
Nah, nah, nah. It's not Bailey.
I saw a report that United and City both are going in.
Ituaro Martinez.
Follow
Yeah, Martinez is one of them.
parent
But
or
I personally feel we should actually go into the academy, because Braff, who's in the academy, actually has some of huge talent, and we actually let go of Sancho as well. So personally, I would actually want an academy player to come in place of Sane.
right. Also, what are your
So
thoughts on the ban?
were you like sorry, please. Please.
Oh, if you wanna continue, I'll carry on later.
No. I already asked my question, so I've done
Okay.
my quota.
My question is, what are your thoughts on the ban getting lifted from being a two window proper ban to literally nothing?
So the basis of the ban only was firstly very shady. I mean, they had firstly got evidence on us from a hack, and that hack, the guy who got the hack also is in probably in jail right now. So in my opinion, and they tried to get all sorts of accusations on us. They were all over the place. I mean, UEFA, they thought they could get us from equity investments, our advertisements. They thought our sponsorship was rigged. Then they thought we rigged FFP. So I mean, their acquisitions was all over the place. They didn't have their thing in together. And to be honest, FFP was firstly bought into place to protect big clubs' interests. You cannot allow small clubs to come in. So like that's how City have actually managed to come in. I mean, even if you see big clubs, all of them probably had big investments before they started coming in. And now with FFP, now subdued, I feel like big clubs, I mean, clubs like, West Ham, probably Leicester even, can start investing more money and, come up and, make the league more competitive. So, in
I
my
think,
opinion, it's good.
in fact, FFP was not brought in to supplement the interests of big clubs. It was to protect the big clubs from overburdening the market or probably overtaking the league in the respective league. So it is probably to protect the interests of smaller clubs. And
Yeah.
I agree with the fact that the ban has been overturned because you're not guilty unless it's proven. So I mean, you how much ever they must have bribed, how much ever whatever they have must have rigged, but at the end of the day, they have no evidence to back. UEFA has no evidence to back their claim. So
Just a sec.
by law,
They were fined 10 million euros, I think,
Yeah, yeah.
that was
which
for
they
That was for
paid.
not cooperating.
that was just for
That was
not
for not cooperating.
cooperating. That was not for breaking any sort of rule.
Well,
I
okay,
mean,
why
it
would okay.
does sound a lot shady because you don't go from a 2 year ban to nothing just because of lack of evidence.
They
I,
banned us. The basis of banning them only was absolutely shambolic. I mean,
but
they
then,
didn't have a proper reason to ban us.
but then they can't just ban you 2 years if they have no reason. So definitely found some stuff. Like everyone knows that the leaks were true.
That okay, the investigation which they had in the investigation which they had, the head of that guy only. I mean, see, if you're coming at us, then why were PSG not fined? How did PSG get a clean slate? I'll
That's
tell you,
what, that's what
UEFA
I'm saying.
are,
Because there's a
are a
bias
complete
from
corrupt
UEFA.
organization.
Sorry.
Let's not go
UEFA
into that.
actually corrupt. UEFA actually huge corrupts. So
That,
it's
yeah, that's what makes
That's
them.
already proven.
That's what
That's
makes
not
them
even a
so
question.
prone to accepting money from City to settle this case. Like, which is a
I
possibility
mean,
that we cannot rule out.
firstly, even okay, so it was an independent organization who did this investigation. I mean, you're trying to say that we bribed UEFA to drop it, but I mean, it is what it is.
I mean, see, honestly, I wouldn't have wanted City to get banned because of sheer amount of talent they have, and like they make football exciting at the end of the day.
Salty.
So like, I wouldn't, but I hate the bias. I hated the fact that Chelsea got a 2 window ban for signing underage players, but City got away for the same with just a fine. And that was I think 6 months ago, wherein you were charged for the same offense for signing an underage player, yet you got away with it. So that's a bias that I hate from UEFA at the moment. But money talks, bro.
The
Money
best,
I
talks.
mean,
the best scandals are the ones that have been exposed or by an individual. So I'm talking WikiLeaks, or I'm talking, you
Yeah,
know. So basically, if there was something, and if that guy found it, and then he exposed it, and then you guys covered it up. So this is not really a football discussion. I feel this is more like a
yeah, agreed.
scandal discussion. So yeah, I mean you cannot completely deny that City are completely legit and kuch galat nahi kiya and all that stuff. But yeah, you're not guilty unless you're proven guilty. So
Yeah,
And
that's just
I think whatever they were accused of, they the UEFA had they've cleared them of all the charges. So I think there was no substantial evidence to begin with from UEFA's side, and that's what I back what Jaden said. I think UEFA is no, there's no accountability. It's a nonsense organization. I mean, if you're installing a rule and you don't, you're banning them for 2 years, and when you have no sufficient evidence, I mean that's something to laugh at probably.
that's
stupid.
pretty
Just
funny.
stupid.
That's a joke.
And I mean, moving forward, I think FFP will become a joke. I mean, I mean, no one's going to follow it. I mean, if there is a loophole,
FFP scrapped. There's no more FFP.
it's a shambolic decision. I mean, it's a very damaging decision if you look at it from a UEFA's point of view, and it's probably going to dampen that FFP rule. It's going to undermine it big time.
No, FFP is no more. They've scrapped the rule. There's no FFP now.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, they
For
scrapped
real,
No,
it.
or
no,
you're just
no,
sarcastic?
no.
I think they
I
scrapped.
think it's gone.
Already? Are you
Yeah, it's
mad?
gone.
They cannot do that.
No, I think they did do it. It was part of this hearing. I'm not 100% sure, but I think I read something like that.
I don't think that's possible, man. But if you're saying so,
Maybe. Okay, Jaden. So Pep's Pep's known to be playing a lot of roulette with his players in terms of who he plays, who he doesn't play, and that's giving stress to a lot of FPL managers. And we've got many requests saying, can we get your views onto who do you think will start against Bournemouth tomorrow? Given the fact that you're playing Arsenal just 4 days after, and you might want to rest a few of your good players.
So, for a FPL point of view, I feel Laporte, in my opinion, should be starting against Bournemouth, and I feel Bernardo would play. Sterling, I feel Sterling's on a good run of form, so he would start as well. And but I mean, he would be brought off though, 60th minute. And Gabriel Jesus, he also, I mean, Kevin De Bruyne is a guaranteed starter. He's my captain, by the way. So I feel that these are few key players. They are key drivers of the team. So I feel they would start.
But what about Foden, David Silva?
Foden, I mean, he's not a guaranteed starter. He and Foden and Garcia, it's been like after lockdown, it's been like a trial session for them. I mean, since we have nothing to lose right now, I mean, we have honestly, nothing to lose. So Pep is trying them for the next season right now. So you cannot like be a guaranteed starter. You cannot like back them as a guaranteed starter right now.
But yeah, so
So
Bournemouth just beat Leicester this game week, and they
hmm.
they are really on the brink of getting relegated, but they do still have a slim chance of coming through. So, do you think that motivation would be any threat to this rampaging City side who just won 5-0 against Brighton, or 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 do you think it'll be another comfortable win?
See, in my opinion, Pep is not letting the foot off the gas. He's continuing the momentum no matter what is happening. I know we lost 1-0 at Southampton, but it was honestly Southampton played quite well. And even though we dominated them, but Southampton were very compact in defense. So I feel that after that, we've bounced back pretty well for two consecutive 5-0s. So I feel like now Pep is going to go ham. He's going to go all in. He's going to go full form into Champions League. And I hope that, I mean, he does. He's not going to let the foot off the gas right now. So I feel it would be an easy win.
Yeah, I'm banking on that, bro. I've tripled up on City attack.
Thank you guys for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, and please drop in your top four predictions. The winner of the top four prediction who gets it completely right will get a feature on our podcast. Okay, thanks and bye.
Also, guys, follow these two
Bye-bye.
brilliant people
cheers,
that
man.
came along today. We'll add their
Yeah, and
Instagram IDs in the description below.
thanks to our guests, Spurs Mumbai and Askal Hindi. We link them down in the
Thank you
bio,
for
so you should
having
check
us,
them
man.
out.
Yeah.
You
Thank you
should
for
check them
having
out.
us.